welcome folks. Pausing here, bringing you a fully modded Royal Rumble match. This is all 30 superstars in the match are going to be mods from the WWE online community. We have several different superstars, those from ECW, from NXT, a couple from WCW as well, and classic WWF stars. Now there's a whole lot of superstars here. I will try to announce every single one and the creator of each particular mod. There are also a few that did not make it into this Rumble. Biggest point would be that there are no Diva mods in this particular match. That would mean that there is no Prince So's Paige. Paige was not included with the PC version of WWE 2K15. So Prince So made a modded Paige. That is not going to be included in here. And here we have our first competitor making their way down to the ring. It is Sabu. That is created by Tekken, one of the biggest modders in the community, sort of collecting all these mods on his community DLC page. I will leave the links to these guys down below. A lot of them are in either the community thread or the AGS thread. The AGS is their own group of creators making their own mods. Now another mod that is not included in here is Brave Bird's Ronda Rousey. Once again, a female mod not to be included. Some of these superstars have a drop in frame rate with certain scenes, especially these cutscenes here. There's actually something that happens with some normal superstars as well. However, they do load a lot better than created wrestlers or CAWs. The game is able to load them as a single model. And here is our second competitor, also made by Tekken. We've got Kurt Angle here. Now these two guys, I got pretty lucky here with the two of them making their entrance. They actually have some of the best entrances made out of all of these 30 superstars. A lot of these modded superstars have to come with some additional data in terms of called moveset and POFO files. A lot of the modders don't actually create these POFO files and movesets. Some of them get outsourced to other guys in the community. I will not be mentioning the exact creators of all of these POFOs or movesets because frankly I don't remember. Some of them I have created myself, some I've downloaded from the community, some I've downloaded and then modified. So we have who we have. There are additionally a few other guys I want to mention that have not made it into this Royal Rumble, particularly Aries619. He has a Sean O'Hare and Mr. Kennedy mods that I have not yet gotten to work, so I haven't been able to include them in here yet. And there's also a few created wrestlers that have been created by a couple different people. A nice run around there by Sabu. These guys are not exactly perfect, but they work very well in my opinion. And we have a move over here by Kurt Angle to try and push Sabu out of here. A few guys that have been created more than once would be Finn Balor and Kevin Owens. I've only included one of each of them. I will tell you who exactly it is when we get to it. And now we have our next competitor. It is actually Bubba Ray Dudley. Another particular superstar created by Tekken here, as he puts Kurt Angle over the top rope, and now these three guys trying to get Kurt Angle out of there. Now, Bubba Ray Dudley was the first of his final four, as Tekken called it. The four guys that he was going to retire on for a little while. He has since come back and updated their attire for their return to the WWE with a new attire here. As you see a nice Hurricane Rana coming in from Sabu onto Bubba Ray to send him down onto the mat. Now all three of these guys again from Tekken, as I think I heard the buzzer coming in for a fourth superstar making their way down to the ring. That is Bret the Hitman Hart, and that is been manned by Mincho Sheen as he gets tossed right over the top rope by Bubba Ray Dudley. As we get a tie up here between Bret and Bubba Ray. Mincho Sheen has created a few of its own mods here. They are also included in the community DLC thread. primarily, as we see a nice flapjack there, one-legged flapjack there by Bubba Ray Dudley as he now attacks the leg of Bret Hart. And we also have Sabu and Kurt Angle both trying to get a little bit of a rest as they turn around. Nice elbow to the face of Kurt Angle as we now get a nice turnaround and a little tiny AA there from Sabu, sending Kurt Angle down to the mat. Bret Hart put over the top rope. Oh my, here is Samoa Joe. This is actually a creation by Brave Bird. The Samoan submission machine was made, I believe, shortly after he debuted on NXT. As we see a nice Irish whip coming in from Sabu, putting Samoa Joe over the top rope. This is one of the earlier creations by Brave Bird. As you see a nice elbow, shoulder into the gut of Sabu now. These mods, as they got created longer and longer, people got better creations with it. You can kind of see with Kurt Angle looking a bit less finished, or he looks very good. However, the eyes seem to buck out, especially on the entrance, whereas some of the guys like Bubba Ray have had a bit more of a tailor to them. And we have now Devon Dudley making his way down to the ring. Again, also part of the Final Four for Tekken, as we see now Bubba Ray picking up here. As we see a nice shot and a couple of shots between the Dudley brothers. They have rivaled a few times over the course. Reverend Devon. As we see a nice suplex coming in for Bret Hart onto Devon Dudley. As you now see a couple of big shots from Samoa Joe in the background here. Bret Hart trying to get a few pot shots on a lot of guys, trying to hit the leg of Samoa Joe. Nice suplex coming in from Bubba Ray Dudley as we get to 6 superstars in the ring. For those of you that do not know, in Royal Rumbles in the WWE games, if there are 6 superstars in the ring, no more superstars will enter until one has been eliminated, and an additional set of time has passed. I believe it is 60 seconds. As you see some big shots coming in from Samoa Joe, putting him against the ropes. We've got 3 guys trying to eliminate 3 guys here. Will any of them go over? Will either the Dudleys or Bret Hart be eliminated here? As we see all 3 of them make their way back into the ring. As you see Samoa Joe put over the top rope there by Devon. Devon getting pot shot and a nice bulldog there from Sabu. So here we've got Kurt Angle, who is a big star in TNA now. We also have Samoa Joe, who is a big star from TNA. That's where they got a lot of reference for him and his moveset. As we see the ECW classics in terms of the Dudleys and Sabu. Of course, the Dudleys also were in TNA for quite some time, and also in the WWE in the Attitude Era. As you see a nice Irish whip coming in from Bret Hart, putting Samoa Joe over the top rope, and that's actually Bubba Ray Dudley eliminated there by Bret Hart. And there's that sort of frame rate action you got there. One thing that happens with these games is that when it transitions between the 60 frames per second gameplay and the 30 frames per second cutscenes, they have a bit of an issue with the transition, and that's where you can actually drop even below 30. That is something that happens with a lot of superstars. We're seeing a nice counter there. There's Kurt Angle getting eliminated there by Devon now, as Devon celebrating that nice elimination for him. Headlock applied onto Bret Hart, and we see a nice neckbreaker there. Now, once again, we've got these guys out of there. It's going to take a little bit of time until we get our 5th superstar into the ring. Samoa Joe bringing himself back in. Nice neckbreaker coming in, and a nice overhead suplex there by Samoa Joe. Elbow into the heart of Bret Hart from Devon. As you see, Samoa Joe now going for another nice slam there onto Sabu. Sabu with a nice kip up, able to bring himself up and looking quite proud of himself, actually, as we have Devon over the top rope and on the apron now by Bret Hart. As you see, Devon able to dodge out of the way of that elbow and get himself back into the match. Samoa Joe now going to whip Bret Hart over that top rope as we get another competitor making his way down to the ring. Who will it be? It is Road Dogg Jesse James. That is by Game Elite, part of the AGS. So that will be in the AGS thread. Now, a lot of these guys from the AGS have been making some decent mods here, as they've been trying to push them out lately, and they actually collaborate a lot together. So I'll be only naming one of them for each. As we see Bret Hart eliminated there by Sabu. Sabu celebrating a little bit as the match just gets right back on. as we see Sabu getting kicked over. Looks like Samoa Joe's going to eliminate Devon Dudley there. And we've got just a couple of guys back in here, as we got a nice Irish whip coming around. Sent over the top rope. It almost looks like he was going to send flying over there out of the ring. But Sabu trying to push out Road Dogg now. As you see another competitor making his way in. Hardcore Holly, created by Razor. I actually made the moveset and POFO for this guy, from what I recall, and I'll post it in the thread. This guy Razor, who's been making these guys, has actually been streaming them mostly, as he's got Razor's Hardcore Holly actually putting Sabu over the top rope. Headlock applied by Road Dogg, as Road Dogg now goes for a slow neckbreaker. And Sabu able to bring himself back into the ring. Nice Irish whip over the top rope to get Road Dogg over there. Hardcore Holly, a interesting choice by Razor. Razor has been making a couple of mid-card guys from various times in the WWE. As you see a nice shot there by Samoa Joe. We've got a couple guys on the corner. Road Dogg able to get himself back in there. Will Sabu be able to go as well? No, he's got a double team now coming in, as I think we got another competitor make his way. A three-way onto Sabu now. All three of them able to dump Sabu out of the ring. So now the first entrance gets eliminated. And here we have Kevin Owens. This was created by Mincho Sheen, the creator of that Bret Hart mod that we saw earlier. There was also a creation by SMK, who is part of the AGS. So you can also find a different Kevin Owens in the AGS thread. As you see now, Kevin Owens up against the ropes with Hardcore Holly trying to eliminate him. Samoa Joe trying to eliminate Road Dogg. Oh, it almost looked like Hardcore Holly was going to get eliminated there, as now he gets himself back into the ring. Road Dogg is keeping himself off the ropes as he gets an Irish whip over the top rope. Into the corner is Road Dogg, as now we get a turnaround by Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe going to put Road Dogg over the top rope. And here is Mick Foley here, as he got a nice headlock by Foley. This is by the Grand Cesar. He's got a couple of mods been in the works, as he's got a Jushin Liger and a Doink, if I recall correctly, that he's been working on. As we've got a tie-up here, and now also Hardcore Holly, both of them trying to eliminate Kevin Owens. The upside, he's able to knock off both of those classic guys. Headlock applied by Holly on to Mick Foley, as you see an Irish whip now. Elbow to the face of Road Dogg, as we now get an Irish whip around the ring. He's able to counter that into a kick to the gut, as Mick Foley is looking in danger here, as he might get pushed over that apron and off onto the ground, but he's able to battle his way back. And here we have another mod by Razor. This is Lance Storm, the one of the best Canadian wrestlers of the Attitude Era. As we get a nice pickup there. Not the best, of course. We do not have him in this Royal Rumble here, the other Canadian wrestler. As we get a nice drop kick, or drop toe hold rather, by Lance Storm, putting him over there. He's got a nice Irish whip over the top rope, sending Mick Foley over the edge. He's on the apron. He's almost out of there. And Lance Storm able to eliminate Mick Foley. There's also Hardcore Holly eliminating Samoa Joe here, as now we've got a couple of mods by Razor, the tag team. Oh, that was a bit of a weird mix-up there, as you see a nice slam by Hardcore Holly onto Lance Storm, and Road Dogg looking to be in trouble here, as he's pushed up against that apron, but able to keep himself in there. And nice little rope-a-dope quick punch by Road Dogg there, as he's got Kevin Owens up against the ropes. So now we've got Lance Storm up against the ropes, and he's able to counter and put Hardcore Holly down. Nice shoulder to the gut to get Road Dogg out of that corner, or rather Kevin Owens out from that predicament. As now we see a bunch of action in the middle of this ring as we wait for a fifth competitor for the ring. Nice counter there by Kevin Owens, countering that punch, and now going for a nice backbreaker, sending him down onto the mat. Who will be our next competitor? As we have both of Razor's mods fighting against each other over at the back of their ring. We got that buzzer for our next competitor. It is competitor number 12. And who will it be? It is Simon Gotch. This is a guy by Auday, part of the AGS. Of course, once again, the AGS guys very collaborative with each other. There's a couple of different textures from a couple different people here. He's got a series of kicks coming in from Last Storm and a drop kick dodged out of the way by Road Dogg as he's able to get there. And we get a nice attack over the top rope. And then a shoulder to the gut by Simon Gotch to Hardcore Holly to get himself back into the ring. He has been very fresh here, but not able to put a lot of offense out yet. That innovative offense of Simon Gotch is hard to replicate in the game of WWE 2K15, but they tried their best, and we got a nice couple of interesting moves. As we hear the buzzer going on for our 13th competitor, and it is Perry Saturn, also by Razor. So now we've got 3 of them in the ring. Nice side suplex there by Saturn as you get an Irish whip coming around. Saturn attacking Kevin Owens there as we get a bit of a tie-up over on the right side as Lance Storm now bringing himself back into the middle of the ring. Kevin Owens sent to the corner here as you're going to put him over. Who will be the first man eliminated? We've actually got 2 corners, and they were kind of in sync, getting themselves down from the corners as Simon Gotch able to bring himself back into the ring as well. Nice skin of the cat by Hardcore Holly as we now see a nice slam coming in by Road Dogg. It looks like Kevin Owens is in a predicament, and he is eliminated there by Perry Saturn. Once again, kind of a ECW and WCW and WWE Attitude Era star. So you see a nice suplex coming in by Lance Storm and Perry Saturn. There's that rope-a-dope that I think is actually his finisher there as we get a nice punch, sending Hardcore Holly down to the mat. As we get Road Dogg going to be picking him up, perhaps going to try to eliminate now the dazed Hardcore Holly. He's sent up against the corner now. Will Road Dogg be able to finish him off here? As we get him up against those ropes, he's going to put him up there. So we also got an arm drag, sort of arm wrench takedown there by Saturn onto Lance Storm. It looks like a gut wrench slam there. And actually turning around for a second one now is Perry Saturn onto Lance Storm, just using his massive strength to get him up. And he's going to go for a third one now. It's Perry Saturn now slamming him up against the mat. Perry Saturn looking with a lot of strength right now. Oh, that was a nice series of kicks now. Actually, a little bit of a low kick as well, sending Road Dogg up against those ropes. Is going to try and push him out of the match. We've got another 6th competitor to make his way into this match. Now, once again, if you do hear any of the music, I have not set the music for all of these guys. A lot of them do have music, but it is Ricky Steamboat. And this was actually started by W.T. Farrell, but then was later released by Lord Justice after W.T. Farrell sort of stopped releasing his content. As now we see a nice arm drag takedown by Lance Storm, taking a Mr. Simon Gotch down onto the mat. As we see a nice power bomb coming in by Road Dogg on to Perry Saturn. High arm drag there by the legend Ricky Steamboat. It looks like Simon Gotch is in trouble here on the corner as Lance Storm has been around for quite some time. As you see, Road Dogg's also been in this match for quite some time. And see a nice attack on the back. Hardcore Holly as well. Both of those have been through this match for a little bit here. Simon Gotch with a nice European uppercut to Lance Storm. As you see Hardcore Holly put up against the corner now. It looks like a big clothesline sending him over the top rope. Road Dogg now been in the match the longest out of any of these competitors. As we now get back to the action, a couple of big punches here and a nice chop is going to pick him up and do another couple chops here as Lance Storm on to the legend Ricky Steamboat. And now we see a pickup here by Lance Storm onto Steamboat. And we see an Irish whip now coming in. And another Irish whip, this time over the top rope instead by Storm, as Gotch able to slowly get himself back into the ring. It looked like Road Dogg was able to get himself picked up, back up, but not quite able to get himself enough energy to do much until he was able to whip Simon Gotch over that top rope. He's able to bring himself back in now. As you see a couple, the 5th man, Perry Saturn, looking for a spot to get into the action. A nice kick to the gut of Road Dogg as he picks himself up. There's that innovative offense, or sort of a slapstick sort of comedy you get from Simon Gotch, the vaudevillain. His other vaudevillain, Aiden English, we will be seeing later in the match. Road Dogg's tag team partner, part of the New Age Outlaws, is not yet fully created, so we will not be seeing him. We'll see some of the other Radicals later on. As you see here, another buzzer as we get another competitor making their way down to the ring. This is Shinsuke Nakamura. This is from SMK, part of the AGS. As you see a nice elbow, back elbow there by Road Dogg on to Ricky Steamboat. Trying to eliminate Steamboat now. As he gets him in there, he's going to push him up against those ropes, trying to push Steamboat down off this mat. Lance Storm able to bring himself back into the ring, and it actually looks quite proud of himself as we get Road Dogg now putting Nakamura over the top rope as well. Him able to bring himself back in, the fresh man. That was a nice, interesting move there by Gotch onto the back of Steamboat there, sort of a rolling over elbow. As we see sort of everyone getting knocked down here, and chaos ensuing as you have 6 of these competitors in a single ring. Gotch looking a bit tired. Now, of course, this is WWE 15, so you've got the stamina system in play here, where the more offense you do, slowly you lose stamina. Even if you're doing a lot of offense, you will be very tired and could get countered by someone perhaps you're not actually feuding against at the moment. You see now Steamboat and Nakamura facing off against each other, a match of the ages, many would think, if it could have ever happened. He's got a nice Irish whip over the top rope of Road Dogg. As we got the elimination of Lance Storm by Simon Gotch and the elimination of Road Dogg by Perry Saturn. Perry Saturn going straight after Gotch and putting Gotch over the top rope. Will Perry Saturn make another elimination here as he's trying to make a quick 3 eliminations? Yeah. So 3 guys eliminated over on that right side as the 2 great competitors, Shinsuke and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, both over here in Saturn, trying to help out with eliminating the Dragon Steamboat, and he is eliminated. We're down to 2 for right now. We're halfway through. Shinsuke Nakamura was the 15th competitor, as now he gets Irish whip and a nice arm drag takedown and a bit of a wrench on that arm by Perry Saturn. We will see who the 16th competitor is in a little bit, as we got a nice strike to the face, as we got a nice float over DDT. And there's where that energy comes into play. Perry Saturn, just after a quick 3 eliminations, just had to lay down for just a moment. He had no energy to get back up, but Shinsuke has not been in the match as long as Perry Saturn. He has a lot more energy to get himself back up here and put Perry up on this rope, and he's dancing on his tiptoes, trying to keep himself in this ring, as we got a nice drop kick, but Perry Saturn able to bring himself in there and keep himself in this matchup. And there is the Sandman from ECW making his way into the ring. This is not going to be a hardcore match. Unfortunately, he can't bring his own kendo stick into the ring. Nice elbow by Perry Saturn. Now, both of these guys, I think, were part of that hardcore Royal Rumble that happened one year, where there was several ECW wrestlers that came into the ring with weapons. I know Perry Saturn was part of that, along with Raven, where that was a particular Royal Rumble where Kane got the most eliminations by just basically eliminating most of the hardcore division. And now we got Perry Saturn picking up here, and we got a nice bit of action coming in the center of the ring. Sandman sent into the corner and get knocked down on the mat. Nice attack on the back, elbow to the face of Perry Saturn as he gets sent over the top rope by Shinsuke Nakamura. Sandman was actually created by Tekken, part of the Community Creations. I don't believe I mentioned that earlier. Perry Saturn eliminated by Shinsuke Nakamura. Who will we see next making their way into the ring? We got a pick up here by Shinsuke. That is Eddie Guerrero. That is released by Brave Bird. This was one of the early creations that Brave Bird actually showed off, but was holding off on it and then slowly got convinced to actually release it himself. As we got a nice couple of kicks. I believe he got some help in releasing that. I don't quite remember. As he got Brave Bird's Eddie Guerrero now with a nice back body drop applied to him by Shinsuke Nakamura. Pick up here by Sandman. Some of these wrestler heights you can sometimes see aren't exactly accurate. So the way the game handles the height is actually a variable in the player code. I have a video detailing how to change a player height and a table of how to change player height. So getting an accurate height on some of these mods requires a accurate POFO file, which isn't always created. As you see a nice Hurricane Rana there applied by Eddie Guerrero on to Shinsuke Nakamura and Jeff Hardy. This is also by Brave Bird, the creator of Eddie Guerrero. I believe he released Jeff Hardy as one of his first mods here. As you now see Jeff Hardy getting on to the Great Sandman. A dropkick to the lower back. Jeff Hardy making his way around the ring. He is a classic wrestler from WWE, sort of post-Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era almost, as we see in Irish Whip. Oh, there is Eddie Guerrero eliminated there by Shinsuke Nakamura. That is quite a quick match there from Eddie. As we see Sandman now actually put up against the ropes as well. Jeff Hardy and Shinsuke, a match that could possibly happen. They're both still wrestling now today, but not exactly in the cards from what I know. As we see another wrestler making their way to the ring, and that is Dean Malenko. As we got one of the four horsemen from WCW here, Dean Malenko in his ring. As we got a nice Irish whip onto the Sandman by Shinsuke, gonna put him over the top rope and pushing him over now. As we got a nice Irish whip coming around onto Dean Malenko, the fresh man put over that top rope. Will Jeff Hardy be able to eliminate the fresh Dean Malenko? Probably not, if I had to take a guess, but it would not be the end of the world. So we got Dean Malenko bringing himself back in here. Headlock applied onto Jeff Hardy. So you got a counter here and an Irish whip over the top rope as Sandman now applying pressure. And we've got him over the top rope and on that apron. As we got now Yokozuna making his way into the ring. Definitely interesting. There's Shinsuke eliminated there. Now, Yokozuna definitely has a lot of interesting body morphs applied to him. This was created by Mincho Sheen. Dean Malenko was also created by Razor. I want to make sure that I mention that. As we got now Yokozuna down on the bottom rope. As we got an armbar and a nice trip up there. Sort of a Russian leg sweep there by Jeff Hardy. There's a pickup onto Dean Malenko now. Irish whip sending Malenko over the top rope. Looks like Malenko might be able to skin the cat here, and he does, able to put himself over there. Yokozuna up against that top rope. Sandman trying to tip him over there. He's able to tip Yokozuna out, and he had a quick elimination there. Yokozuna in and out. Not something you would likely see in the real world, as Yokozuna has a lot of weight to him. Terry Funk now in the ring. This is a Bannock Burn mod. He has it in his own thread here. As you see a nice Irish whip coming around. The Yokozuna thread, Yokozuna mod by Mincho Sheen is also part of the community DLC page if you want to go download that. Terry Funk you'll have to find on Bannock Burn's own, either his channel or his thread on Smack Talks. As you see a nice Irish whip onto Jeff Hardy. As Jeff Hardy returns the favor of Dean Malenko that we saw earlier. So we've got an Irish coming in on to Dean Malenko by Jeff Hardy. And Terry Funk with a nice slam onto Sandman over on the side here. So we've got a couple of hardcore wrestlers, a couple of wrestlers from WCW and WWE. We've got another star coming into the ring. This is from the modern day WWE. That is Stardust, also known as Cody Rhodes. This is actually an unreleased mod. This was a beta release sent to me by PH Guy that he has not yet actually released. So we got a nice knee to the face to him by Terry Funk. I wanted to feature this beta mod just because PH Guy has released majorly skin updates for individual wrestlers that are part of the game. So he doesn't have a lot of brand new wrestlers, and Stardust would be the only real guy that he has for a brand new wrestler, even though he is, Cody Rhodes still in essence. Nice Irish whip by Stardust with a knee to the gut to the hardcore legend Terry Funk, and we've already got another superstar making their way down to the ring. I just heard the little buzzer. That is Finn Balor. That is the Oni skin. That is the, I believe it was the version 2 released by the AGS by SMK. So that was for, Sandman eliminated there by Jeff Hardy. That Finn Balor was from his match in Japan against Kevin Owens. You can see the nice Oni on the back of his back, the demon, of course. And we've got a nice Irish whip. There is another mod by the AGS of version 1 that does not have the Oni, has a different setup. And there's also another one by Brave Bird as well. We saw a couple by Brave Bird earlier, and I believe we still have Jeff Hardy in the ring, who was created by Brave Bird. So you see now a turnaround by Finn Balor onto Stardust, Irish whip around the ring. The current NXT champion at the time of recording, Mr. Finn Balor. So you now see a headlock applied by Stardust, going to go for a nice suplex on the very old Terry Funk. Applied to him right there by the corner. And actually Jeff Hardy over the top rope precariously on the apron, applied by Dean Malenko there. They might be able, yeah, there he is, able to eliminate the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy. Now we got a nice attack there by Terry Funk. And a couple of tie-ins between these guys, as they all try and divide to figure out who they want to damage and try to eliminate. Dean Malenko seems to be targeting Stardust. Here is Goldberg. Goldberg was one of the first big new releases in the modding community. And of course that means that it came from Tekken. Tekken, for those that do not know, is actually the creator of many of the tools that some of these other creators use. Terry Funk eliminated there by, I believe it was Finn Balor. Now, Tekken creates the X-Packer software, which allows people to unpack some of the game files, and he also creates X-Ray, which interprets the in-game models for these guys. Most people that are not creating mods will not need X-Ray, but X-Packer is recommended for a lot of people looking for more in-depth modding tools. So you got Goldberg quickly put over the top rope there by Dean Malenko. What is he, a perfect 100% man? Nice neckbreaker, sort of a float over neckbreaker there by Stardust as he attacks the lower back of Finn Balor. We've got 4 people in the ring right now. We're about to get our 5th as we just heard that little buzzer. Irish whip onto Stardust, sending him over the top rope. Finn Balor trying to eliminate another superstar here. Who will be the next competitor? That is Scott Steiner, making his slow entrance to the arena. And this is the updated Scott Steiner. There was an original Scott Steiner that was using a head from WWE 2K15, I believe. But this was a remodeled head that I downloaded recently. This is also by Tekken. Both Scott Steiner and Goldberg you can find in the community DLC threads, since that is majorly managed by Tekken. And Goldberg might be quickly eliminated. Scott Steiner here, as he just holds on for dear life, and he's able to hold on just long enough. Nice backbreaker there by Finn Balor on to Stardust. I think that was the two painted fellows fighting off against each other here, and a nice elbow to the back of the face to Dean Malenko as Finn Balor tries to get a little bit of a breather. There's another NXT star making his way down to the ring. That is Baron Corbin making his way in now. It seems like Dean Malenko is eliminated now by Finn Balor. This Baron Corbin fellow was created by Aude as part of the AGS. Of course, Aude spearheading that, getting some assistance from some other members of the AGS. As we see a nice whip around the ring, Scott Steiner able to keep himself in here. But now another attempt by Goldberg, putting him over the top rope. Stardust just barely able to hold on here, as Baron Corbin taunting for the crowd. Of course, saying he is the best. That has been sort of his shtick here recently, that he thinks he is better than everyone. As we got a little bit of an error there. And now a couple of big strikes on the big man Goldberg by Stardust. He gets a big kick to his gut for his efforts, and now Goldberg trying to fight both of the big men here. So we see a tie-up here. It's a little bit of a tie-up on the apron here, as Goldberg in a precarious position, along with Scott Steiner, both men in trouble here, but Goldberg able to bring himself in, and Baron Corbin not able to put enough pressure to eliminate Scott Steiner from the match. There's a bit of chaos going on the left side. Oh my! Stardust with a huge body press slam, using all of his strength to eliminate the very dangerous Bill Goldberg. You see now a tie-up here, nice strikes to the face, as Baron Corbin able to get himself out of there. Here's another NXT superstar. We have there the great Enzo Amore. We also have not seen his tag team partner, Colin Cassidy. He is part of here. Baron Corbin looks set up for the 619, but I don't think that's what's going to happen here. A little bit of an attack by Stardust here as a flying knee to the chest. That Enzo Amore was created by the AGS, spearheaded by Aude. Same with Baron Corbin there. As we see a tie-up on the ropes here, as we see him up against the ropes by Scott Steiner, able to attack out of the way. Nice dropkick by Finn Balor applied to Stardust here, as we now see an Irish whip coming in, sending Enzo Amore over the top rope. As we got a tie-up on the apron here. Enzo Amore in trouble, as Scott Steiner looking for an elimination but not able to get it, as Enzo gets himself back into the arena. Nice back elbows by Enzo to get out of that situation, as we see a tie-up now with Finn Balor going over the top rope by Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin trying to eliminate the NXT champion right now. Ooh, nice slam coming in by Stardust, and Finn Balor is eliminated by Baron Corbin. And I think there is Big Colin Cassidy, Big Cass, the tag team partner of Enzo Amore. Now that is also created by actually SMK as part of the AGS. As you see Big Cass putting a lot of pressure on to Scott Steiner, trying to eliminate him here. So you got to tie up in the corner. And Stardust taking a pot shot at Enzo, and Baron Corbin now applying pressure, trying to get Enzo over the top rope as well. Nice suplex by Stardust. To see a counter by Enzo, trying to get himself out of there. Ooh, a nice shot, sort of a force bomb to the face. As you see an Irish whip, Baron Corbin just not having any of it. Two men applying some strength on to Scott Steiner, trying to eliminate him, but Scott Steiner able to strike his way back out of that situation. Able to get himself back into the ring. Attack to the back of Enzo. Stardust sending Colin Cassidy over the top rope. That 7-foot tall Big Cass. It might have to try and use that height to wrap his long legs around that rope. That was a bit of garbage talking, but skinning the cat coming in from Stardust here as Scott Steiner and Enzo and Big Cass all get sort of tied up with each other. Enzo trying to eliminate Baron Corbin, and he is able to just barely keep himself in. Is Baron Corbin? Here is the bad guy, Scott Hall. Also known as Razor Ramon in the WWF, Scott Hall was part of the NWO, but majorly as the Black and White, also known as part of the Outsiders with Kevin Nash. As you see a nice slam there by Big Cass onto Scott Steiner. And we have absolute chaos going on in the ring. Now, Scott Hall was number 29. We only got one more man making his way down to the ring. For your information, Scott Hall just eliminated Stardust, but also he was created by Tekken. He had some help with that one, but it is all the credits, proper credits are in the community creations thread, as we have him putting Scott Steiner up on the top rope, able to get a back elbow into the face is Scott Steiner to keep himself in this matchup. Headlock applied though, as Enzo and Cass feuding at the top side, both of them trying to get a big match in this Royal Rumble completed. A NXT superstar winning a big Royal Rumble like this can be, a very big event for them, but Enzo not going to get anywhere as Big Cass uses that big boot to eliminate him. Cass goes straight after Scott Hall, trying to eliminate him. Will the former NWO friends help each other here? Scott Hall just seems content to watch on, and Baron Corbin looking very tired over to the left, slowly bring himself up. That is 2 eliminations for Big Colin Cassidy here, and now he looks to be going for 3 with Scott Hall, putting Scott Hall over the top rope. And actually, teamwork now coming in. Both NXT superstars trying to eliminate the legend Scott Hall, but Hall able to bring himself back into the ring. Countered by Baron Corbin, elbow to the face of Hall, as Big Cass and Baron Corbin seems to be temporarily working together against the legend. As you see Baron Corbin now taking his time, retargeting onto the number 30 combatant. That is Aiden English, another NXT superstar. So we've got 3 NXT superstars, and then the legend of WCW, WWF, and General Hall of Famer level person, Scott Hall. And then 3 guys trying to make their name in the business, Aiden English, Baron Corbin, and Colin Cassidy. Those are our final 4 here. Of course, they all drew very high numbers. That is how the the video game versions of the Royal Rumble really work out. You don't get anyone lasting for an hour in these matchups, as we get a tie-up with Aiden English getting on the corner here. Baron Corbin looking very tired here. He has been in here the longest. He was entered in at number 26, whereas all the other guys are 28, 29, and 30 with Cass, Hall, and English, respectively. And we've got each now. Aiden English trying to get an attack onto Hall, but Hall able to bring himself back in. And looks to be, he almost looks like he was walking with very much with purpose. Nice scoop slam out of nowhere onto Aiden English. We saw a couple of big shots coming in. Nice suplex, a lot of strength coming in by Baron Corbin onto Big Colin Cassidy. Strike to the gut as now Scott Hall with a couple of strong punches. And now we're getting a little bit of rope-a-dope here. Nice discus clothesline, taking down Big Cass is Scott Hall. Is Hall looking to be doing more damage. Ooh, nice head drag takedown onto English out of nowhere. Big slam onto Cass. Looked to take a lot of energy out of Corbin. Corbin will have to be careful though, as it seems like all three men are very dazed now, as Hall had a moment but decided not to take it. Headlock applied and released onto Hall as both guys take a little bit of a breather. Everything's slowing down just a tiny bit. A nice swinging neckbreaker onto Big Cass by Aiden English, the freshest man out of the bunch. He got number 30, the lucky number 30. But will that be his lucky number tonight? Headlock applied onto Scott Hall. A couple of big punches here. And now taking down Hall down onto the mat with that stiff punches. Baron Corbin still trying to survive. Slowly bring himself up. We've got a nice slam here. Not slamming him outside of the ring. Unfortunately for Aiden English. But fortunately for Hall, he was not picked up and tossed over that top rope. Nice punch to the face. And now an elbow to the back of the neck. Irish whip coming in from Baron Corbin. Sending Big Cass over that top rope. Cass in a dangerous position now. Big forearm shot sends Cass down to the mat. And we've got the final three for this matchup here. Big strikes to the face here. As we see him applying pressure onto English. We've got all three guys now squaring off. All looking at each other knowing this is the end. Baron Corbin already very tired. Visibly tired here. But a tag team here working together against Aiden English, the tag team star. Perhaps he shouldn't be on this grand stage of the Royal Rumble here. But Baron Corbin sent it over the top rope. He is very tired. Will he be able to survive both of these guys here? He's got him teetering. They both got him teetering. There is a big punch by Aiden English, and we're down to the final two. Aiden English and Scott Hall. Which of these two will be the champion of this Royal Rumble match? The NXT Tag Team Superstar, the recent Tag Team Champion, or the Hall of Fame level wrestler Scott Hall? Nice elbow to the back of the face, sending Scott Hall out of the corner. Nice bruising strikes there by English, sort of a brawler style similar to, say, William Regal. So you got to tie up over this top rope. Will Hall be able to get him out of here and be the victor? Aiden English in a bad spot right now, able to dodge out of the way of that elbow. He's got to now put pressure on, but Hall quickly with another Irish whip, sending him over the top rope once again. He's got to keep the pressure on and make it so English cannot get a single foot back in that ring and keep himself in that precarious. There it is. There's that elbow. Scott Hall is your winner, and he eliminated Aiden English to be your winner. He is the entrant 29, created by Tekken, legendary superstar, Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, NWO, whatever you want to call him. He is your winner.